Today we'll be going to discuss about the budgeting processing, preparation, enactment, and execution. We'll wait for 2 minutes and we'll start. Okay, Andy. Today we'll be starting our session now. In this, we'll be covering about the objectives, introduction, budget formulation, and budget enactment, budget execution, and role of Ministry of Finance. Conclusion. I hope I'm audible. Okay, finally. Actually, it is like budget formulation, enactment, and execution of the important phases of budgetary cycle. As you would be seeing that executive is responsible for budget preparation, while the enactment is a legislative procedure, and the Constitution of India vests power with the Parliament and the legislature to execute budgetary control, so that no public resources are spent without Parliament or legislative approval. And budget execution involves the utilization of allocate funds to implement government's policies. In the entire process, the Ministry of Finance has a key role. The unit attempt to orient the learners with the various steps involved in budget formulation, execution, and enactment. In the budget formulation, we'll be seeing that in the budget preparation, legislature, executive, and board of commission, uh, and in the preparation and consolidation of the estimates by the head of the ministries or department. And in India, we'll see that every September or October, about 6 months prior to the fiscal year, the dispatch of the circulars will be taking place, and the request of the estimate forms will be generated. And in the lately, the consolidation and scrutiny of the forms that have been developed, and with the new continuing schemes and the lump sum. Actually, the lump sum of the sum allocation of lump sum amount for a scheme is not advised, and a period for the funds. And we'll be seeing about what is the government priorities that have been be taken out for the new schemes will be taken out. And in the next level is that the factual verification by the Controller and Auditor General of India, and consolidation by the Finance Ministry, and the new schemes will be taken up by the Financial Ministry. And the approval by the Cabinet will be also taken out with the standing charges and continuing schemes and new schemes that will be taken out. And in the budget enactment, we'll be seeing that in the second stage of the budgeting process, it includes a discussion of the budget in the legislature and passing of the finance bill, which becomes an act. And the stage commences with the formal legal discussions as per parliamentary rules, which shall be discussed in detail in this section. In the budget enactment procedure, we'll be seeing about the presentation to the legislator in the Part A and Part B. The Part A, the finance minister presents the financial statement of the previous and current years of the ensuing year estimates. And in the Part B of the budget speech, the finance minister presents to the detailed accounts of tax proposal and other measures to increase revenue levels for the projected expenditure estimated in the ensuing year. And the steps in the budget enactment. We will see in the presentation of the budget and general discussion, scrutiny by the departmental committees, and voting of demands for grants, and the passing of the appropriate bill and passing of the finance bill. In the presentation of the budget, we'll be seeing around that explanatory memorandum on the budget, an appropriation bill, the finance bill comprising tax proposals and annual report of ministries, and economic classification of the budgets. And in the general discussion and the statement of demand for the grants, we'll be seeing that each demand shall contain a first statement of the total grant proposed, and then a settlement statement of the total detailed estimate under each grant divided into items. And no discussion on budget takes place on the day it is presented to the House. And budgets are discussed in the two stages. The general discussion followed by detailed discussion and voting on the demands of the grants. The whole process of discussion and voting of the demands for grants and passage of the appropriation and the financial bills are to be completed within the specified time. As a result, the demands for grants relating to all the ministry departments can be discussed, and the demands of some ministry gets uh, voted without the discussion. And in the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, after the presentation of the budget, holds a meeting of leaders of parties. We call it as LOPs, and the groups in Lok Sabha for the selection of ministries and departments. Those demand for the grants might be discussed in the House. Based on the decision arrived at this meeting, the government forward the proposal for the consideration of business advisory committees, BAC. We call it as BAC. And in the next level, scrutiny by the standing committees, the discussion of the demands for the grants will be discussed now. And in the third step, we will be like voting. In the voting of a demand of grants, where the demands are presented ministry-wise, the legislators are made available. The annual reports are relevant document for every ministry. Thing is done. The speaker makes the ministry-wise a timetable for the process after connects with a member of the legislature. The general budget comprises 109 demands, out of which 106 pertain to civil expenditure and 3 for defense expenditure. After the voting of demands, the demands become grants. In the cut motions, we will see the policy cut motion, economic cut motion, token cut motion. In this token cut motion, policy cut motion will be like withholding of the approval of any policy, and with the demand for the grant is based on the amount of the demand can be reduced to rupee 1 and substitute policy can be suggested. In the economy cut, we'll be seeing on the motion aims for affecting economy in the proposed estimates, and the amount of the demand can be reduced to a certain amount and an item can be omitted. And in the token cut motion, the motion objective is to register dissatisfaction against a specific demand, can ask for the amount of demand can be reduced by 100. And in the later, we could see that consideration of passing of the appropriation of bill will be taken out. In this due time, the vote on account will be given out. In this process, the generally continues till the end of the April. But the problem lies here is the fact that the government department needs money after 31st March at the end of the financial year to incur expenditure on various activities. And in the later stage, it is like consolidating and passing of the finance bills. In the Rule 209 of the Rules of the Procedure of Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, states that financial bill means a bill orderly introduced in the each year to give effect to the financial proposal of the Government of India for the next financial year. That include a bill to give effect to the supplementary financial proposal for any period. And in the discussion part, the bill is referred to the selection committee put to the parliament, and the select committee returns the final bill with the suggestion and remark. Discussion of the bill of every clause takes place. The member can move an amendment for a decrease, but not for an increase. Voting on the bill takes place, which before while becoming an act. And in the budget execution will be in a stage wise. In it, we'll be seeing that the execution of budget starts with the passing of the finance and appropriation bill. The ministry can incur expenditure only with the amount which has been appointed till the ratifications are done. The government can use those funds for which vote on account can be done. The execution of the budget is done on the expenditure and revenue sides, and the missioner is responsible for the execution of the budget. And the expenditure part of the budget consists of a system, a controlling officers, competent authorities who issue financial transactions, and the drawing and disbursing officers and payments and accounts. And in the incurring of expenditure is to have high standards of financial proprietary as per GFR rules. We call it as General Financial Rules 2005. And in the execution of a budget and revenue side involves collection of revenues, custody of collected funds, and distribution of funds. And in the Department of Revenue has control over the machinery investment with the collection of transport, Central Board of Direct Taxes, and Central Board of Excise and Customs. There are two types of financial advisors, external and internal. And the external finance advisor render advice on behalf of Ministry of Finance. The internal finance advisor function is to assist the Ministry Department in the exercise of our delegated to it. The scheme of integrated financial advisor entrusted with the overall responsibility of formulation of budget of the department, managing transfer of the funds. Supervision was created in 1975. In 2006, the role of IFA was expanded to the wide-ranging financial administrative function. The accounts of various ministries are prepared as per the laid down procedure. The accounts are audited by the Comptroller General of India. We shall be discussing in detail about accounting and audit aspects in the units for the further. And in the later role, we'll be seeing about the role of Ministry of Finance. It has the responsibilities for advising on the fiscal and monetary policies and raising the financial resources to meet the expenditure targets, and examining the desirability of the demands of the various ministries and departments, and consolidation and scrutiny of the budget estimations, and preparation of appropriation and financial bill in conscience with the constitutional provision, and review of standing charges, outgoing schemes, and new projects. And we'll be seeing about the preparation of economic classification of budget, and scrutinizing all proposals of spending departments, maintaining the financial discipline, and ensuring the compliance with the budgetary laws, and enforcing the effective control of budgetary expenses. And in the Ministry of Finance, with various departments and divisions have an important role in the gigantic task of budgetary cycle from preparation to execution. And its main concern to ensure a proper balance between revenues and expenditure and judicious use of public resources. And in the conclusion part, we will be seeing that the government budgeting involve lot of accounting and financial planning, not only for the administrative needs, but also for the welfare of the people. The government budget cannot be regarded as just an estimation of its receipts and expenditure, but also acts as a tool for meeting administrative need and securing socio-economic goals in the best public interest. The role of government budgeting has changed now with changing activities. When financial outlays are presented regarding developmental schemes, physical goals, and also presented to accomplish the same within a stipulated time to be cost effective. I hope that the discussion has been completed with the third unit. If you have any doubts, we'll have. I'll wait. These things. Because it is at the stepwise process, but where we discussed it, it will be in a short manner. But whenever we go it with the execution part and all the in detail part, it will be a very long run and a very long effective kind of a way. So that if you have any doubts, you can pose me out. Okay, thank you. I hope that there are no doubts. If you have any doubts, you can directly reach me to my mail. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity.